What is up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingDudes.com, and welcome to our first look at the Preakness Stakes as we turn the page on the Kentucky Derby and head on to Baltimore. On to Baltimore we go to the Preakness Stakes here. We'll give you a first look. They're going to draw this race on Monday, but we thought we'd kind of go over the probables here for you today. So I'll take my banner off here. I'll put on the bottom the horses that are, as of this recording, are trying for the Preakness, or shooting for the Preakness, probably a better word. We'll start with Instant Coffee, and I think that's an interesting entry. Possible for the race. We don't have confirmation one way or the other. But look, this horse was the favorite, in the Louisiana Derby, and it had been running very well, and just was a no-show that day. And, just nowhere to be found. Just didn't fire. Wheels back here, that's an interesting horse if Instant Coffee enters, so make sure to kind of keep an eye on that horse. Had won 2 stakes races in a row before that loss in the Louisiana Derby. Perform, this horse for Shug McGay, he got supplemented into the race. He was actually not Triple Crown nominated, but after winning the Tessio, you get an automatic entry, so they supplemented this horse to the Triple Crown. Perform, a horse that's going to be pretty interesting. Blazing Sevens, this is a horse that for Chad Brown, who skipped the Kentucky Derby to point for the Preakness. Stop me if you've heard this one before. He's done that 2 times, and he's won 2 times with horses cloud computing and early voting. So Blazing Sevens does look to be a cut below the rest of these. Well, not all of the rest of these, but the top horses in the crop. But we've seen Chad Brown do it before, so we'll see if he can work the magic with Blazing Sevens next weekend. Red Route 1 won the Bathhouse Row Stakes at Oaklawn Park, so he gets an automatic entry into the Preakness Stakes. Red Route 1, of course, a horse we've seen on the trail, second in the Rebel, second in the Southwest, and unfortunately off the board in the Arkansas Derby. But a nice win in the Bathhouse Row gets him that automatic entry. We'll see what what Red Route 1 can do. National Treasure for Bob Baffert. A horse that's been disappointing for sure. He kind of missed some time for training. He wasn't great in the San Diego Derby. He'll try to get Bob Baffert back into the Triple Crown picture for the first time in a couple of years. So he'll run him in the Preakness Stakes. So National Treasure, certainly one that could improve for sure. Chase the Chaos, so another horse coming over from California. Magic said on the Magic Mike show that he thinks Chase the Chaos should be 1,000-1 in this race. Well, he's not going to be. He'll be the ultimate long shot, probably the longest shot on the board, but they'll take a swing with Chase the Chaos. Confidence Game, I think a horse that ran off of a layoff, oddly enough, for the Kentucky Derby, but I think they kind of had other races in mind, this Triple Crown series, so they wanted him fresh. Well, here we go. He's fresh. We'll see what he can do. He was kind of just average in the Kentucky Derby, which was predictable off that kind of layoff. It's tough to get him cranked up for a race like the Derby. First Mission, he's a serious new shooter for sure. He's coming out of that Lexington Stakes win, and boy, was it a good one. Earned a 98 buyer for that one. Brad Cox believes stretching out in distance will only help First Mission, so he certainly is going to be the new shooter that gets the most attention. First Mission coming off that Lexington victory. 2 more to go here. Disarm, one of the Kentucky Derby runners that's going to be in this race. 1 of 3, Confidence Game obviously. Disarm, the 4th place finisher. We don't have total confirmation that Disarm's going to be there, but I think they're pointing for it. We'll see if he can do it. He ran very well to get 4th in the Kentucky Derby. We'll see if he can kind of parlay that into Preakness success. Disarm for Steve Asmussen. And then finally, last but obviously not least, the Kentucky Derby winner, thankfully, is going to be in the Preakness this year. And boy, is that nice to say, because 4 out of the last 5 years, we've had odd things that happened in the Derby. And then the Preakness winner wasn't there, the Derby winner wouldn't go to the Preakness. So it's been a little bit of a bummer, but Mage, as of now, all systems go for the Preakness. Obviously, day by day, anything can change, but he's here. He's going to run in it as of now. That is great news, and that always makes the Preakness 100 times better when the Derby winner is in it. So excited to see Mage on this list. All right, so you take the first look at this thing, and I think it seems like a pretty obvious situation on paper. You got a horse like Mage, who was fantastic in the Kentucky Derby, ran the race of his life. Now, the big question is, can he do it again? Is he just a horse that's improving with each start? And hey, that's Mage now. That's what he is. Or will he kind of regress off of what he did in the Kentucky Derby and kind of throw in, maybe not a clunker, but not quite as good as that effort? If he runs like he did in the Derby, they're probably all running for second, to be completely honest. I don't think anybody can really do what he did in the Derby on this crop so far. If he kind of takes a step back, it seems like the new shooter first mission, or an improving confidence game running second off the layoff, or an instant coffee who bounces back if he ends up being in the race. They seem to be very much in play, and then it becomes very wide. Maybe not wide open, but it seems like 3, 4, 5 of them can win. So that's kind of the decision I think you're gonna have to make. If you believe Mage can do it again, probably gonna win this thing unless somebody really improves just like he did in the Derby. If you believe, oh man, he ran the race of his life 2 weeks back, that was a really taxing effort, I don't think he can do it again, well, then you've got options. For me, it's Mage and probably first mission, but we'll see what the draw is. We'll see who actually enters the race. So that's the first look at the Preakness Stakes, guys. As of right now, that is the field. We'll be live Monday for the draw. We will have coverage all week long, obviously, of the Preakness as we get closer to the race. So thanks, everybody, for watching this one. Hit that like button if you liked it. Hit subscribe if you really like it. Want to get alert anytime we do stuff like this. And most importantly, we'll see you right back here on Monday for the live draw of the Preakness.
RacingDudes.com is your home for the best free picks for every race, every track across the country. The Triple Crown is in full swing, and we want you to join us in the fun. Subscribe to Racing Dudes YouTube channel, click the notification bell so you never miss a single video. Want to make money betting horses? Bet with the Racing Dudes.